So I recently read the book, The Science of Getting Rich, and it completely changed my life. And I wanted to make a video on some things that I learned from this book. And it's literally going to change your life if you read it, but these are my takeaways. And I would love to give you a summary of the key things that literally changed my life. So one of the first things that he said that changed my life is that getting rich is about doing things in a certain way. It's not about your background, where you come from, your race, your gender, how much education you have. He said that it's just about doing things in a specific way. So what this really taught me is that success is a series of actions, and it is a series of doing things in a certain way, like he said. So this really alleviates a lot of pressure or limiting beliefs from people, because a lot of people think that I have to be this certain way or do this certain thing. People feel like they have limitations on what they can achieve based off of their unique circumstances. But what he says is that our circumstances are not necessarily unique, and getting rich is just a simple formula. It's a 1 + 1 = 2. It's just a formula. And so this releases a lot of emotion out of getting rich, because people have so many emotions about getting rich. Sorry, I'm like looking outside if you see me like peeking. So yeah, there's so many emotions. So basically when he says this, he's removing the emotion of why you can't have it, and he's turning it into a simple equation that anyone can plug and play and do, basically. The next thing that changed my life that he said was that you have to stop understanding why there is poverty, and you have to stop trying to look at poverty, stop trying to understand it. He's saying that anything that has to do with like poverty, people not making money, people being broke, he's saying that put all of your attention and focus onto getting rich. So even when you talk about your past self and you're talking about, oh, when I was a kid, we were broke. And this is like probably like out of everything that he said, this was like my number one thing that changed my life. He says that you were never broke, you were never poor, you were always becoming rich. And I think this is so important because language is so important when you're trying to manifest, achieve your goals, create your dream life. He is turning something, it's like he's switching perspective. It's like not focusing on the lack that you had, but focusing on the becoming that you've always had. So it's not that you were ever poor or in poverty or broke. You were always on the journey to becoming rich. And this is such a key mindset that I see with so many successful people. Is successful people have a progressive mindset. They have a growth mindset. They have a positive mindset. So they will take any negative thing that's going on in their life, any negative circumstance, and they will literally monetize it. They will optimize it. They will alchemize it. They will turn it into gold. They will flip it around and they will make it into something that benefits them. And so this is really key to do with every area of your life. Like even if you're trying to lose weight right now, like you're not fat, you're becoming skinny, you're becoming healthier. We're always on the journey of becoming. And when we associate, even if it's ourself in the past, you never want to associate yourself with poverty, even if you're talking past tense. You always want to focus on your becoming. And that was literally so life-changing. Like probably the number one thing that changed my life and just really hit home for me is that I was always on the journey to becoming. And yeah, that just makes me so happy when I think about it. Okay, so what I actually did was I just pulled up my notes on my laptop here so that I can see like all the notes that I have, so I can kind of go through them because I have like so many notes. So the next thing that he said that changed my life is he talks so much about taking action now. He talks about how you shouldn't be daydreaming. He talks about how when you have an idea, act on it. He also talks about doing today's work and not tomorrow's work. So let me actually read you this direct quote that he says. Do everything today, all that can be done today. This doesn't mean rush. Don't do tomorrow's work. Don't do a week's work in a day. Only do today's work. So he's like, don't do a week's worth of work today. Don't do tomorrow's work. He's like, stay focused on like, what can I do today? And he talks a lot about like taking action really fast. And I want to go deep into this. This is something that I notice a lot with high achievers and like really successful people, is that they act then and there. So a lot of successful people, they are, as soon as they have an idea, it's execution. The moment they have an idea, they do not let their thoughts come between them and their execution. They move faster than their thoughts. They move faster before they can change their mind. They move at lightning speed. And people I notice who are not successful, they move really, really, really slow. Like grandma slow, like snail slow. Everything is slow. When someone moves fast, even if you are afraid, like I feel like moving fast, when you move fast, you don't have time to be afraid. You don't have time to second guess yourself. And you move so quickly that even maybe you didn't have all the information you needed when you took action, but by failing forward, you're constantly learning all the ways that it doesn't work. Versus if you stay stuck, if you stay thinking, planning, strategizing. That's why I say like planning, overthinking, trying to strategize, it really does delay the process. And it's really funny because when you plan, when you're strategizing, when you're trying to get more information, like, oh, I need to learn more about this thing, it tricks your mind into thinking that you're doing something productive, even though you're actually not. So your mind thinks like, oh, I'm doing something productive, I'm moving forward. But those things actually don't move you forward. What moves you forward is by taking the messy action. So I love that he says that. Another thing that I love that he talks about is he talks about the competitive mind and the creative mind. And he says that people who are competitive actually live in lack, because if you are living in a world of abundance, there is no competition. The only competition is being better than who you were the other day. And so he says that people who are super competitive, who are trying to outbeat everyone, they're actually living in lack. And when you see no one as your competition, that means that you were in abundance. And at first I was like, I don't really understand this, because sometimes it might be good to like have a little healthy competition, but I see what he means, because if you are in competition with other people, you see other people as like a threat, and you see it as like we're all competing for this one thing, rather than there's more than enough for everyone. Rather than, okay, even if everyone got more than what they wanted, there's still going to be infinite amount left over. Like that's the mindset that he wants us to have. Oh, I wrote this down. No one got rich by studying poverty. You can't manifest health by studying sickness. I have to like move over for read my computer. He's saying only focus on getting rich, forget poverty and why or whatever it comes from. Things are not bought into their being by thinking of their opposites. Do not talk about poverty. Do not investigate it or concern yourself with it. Don't worry about the cause. Only focus on the cure. That is like so crazy. Oh, the law of increase. I love this. He says that it is natural to seek more because there is a law of increase as human beings. We naturally want more. We naturally want to become better, want more money. We always want the next best thing. We always want more. And he's saying it is natural, it is healthy, it is good. You should want more. He's saying you should want more money. You should want more abundance. You should want more riches. Like that is actually the thing that is healthy, wanting more, the law of increase. And people in society make us think that is evil, that wanting more is greedy, that wanting more is a sin, or it's not good, it's not seen in God's eyes. But actually that is the natural way. That is the good way. Wanting more is a good thing. It's natural. Only those who retain more keep any. Only those who retain more keep any, going back to the law of increase. He also says don't brag about your money. The true faith isn't boastful. So he's saying it's not a good thing to brag about your money or speak of it unnecessarily. He said true faith isn't boastful. He's saying like, don't be going around and like saying like, oh, like this is, because he's saying like that's an insecurity. He said boastful is secretly afraid and doubtful. So when you're boasting, when you're bragging, when you want everyone to know about your money, it's actually because you are afraid and you're doubtful. And he said that's not true faith. True faith is just having and just like allowing your embodiment, just like the way that you walk, the way that you talk, like just being in that energy. You don't have to prove. People who have to prove something, there's something that's not faithful about that. He also says lust for power is evil. I agree. I love his take on that. Okay, last one, which also has to do with going back to my favorite quote by his, by focusing on your becoming. He says, don't tell past stories or financial issues. Don't tell hardships of your parents or your early life. This is the identity of the poor for the time being. So it's so powerful. And I really want to also talk about really quickly about how our past, this is why it is so important to forgive and let go of the past and literally forget your past, because memory of the past only recreates that in your present and in your future. So it is so important. This is what I found in my life. I found that the more that I attach myself to my past, the more that I identified with my past, the things that did not serve me, the more I identified them in my present. So when I felt identified with the thing in the past, I was also identified with it now. And so it's like it never escaped me. So how I did a lot of healing work and how I was able to manifest a lot of things is because I forgot who I was and I created a brand new version from scratch. And so I forgot the past. And this goes like, this is kind of difficult because you could be addicted to those old stories. You could be addicted to replaying those memories. You could be addicted to that story, being a victim in that story. You could be addicted to your past victimhood. And so what I had to do was I had to stop thinking about people from the past. Like I literally got rid of them in my mind. I didn't check up on them. I didn't check their social media. I didn't text them. Because like, I'll be honest, on my journey, I've gotten that urge to like check up on people. Be like, oh, let me look at their Instagram. Like, don't do that. Don't look at their Instagram. Forget people. Forget how things used to be. Forget who you were. Forget how much money you used to make. Forget the kind of men who did this to you. Like, by you not forgiving and letting go of your past, you are basically allowing it to identify you in the present moment. So it is so important, again, to meditate, to forget all those things, not because those people deserve forgiveness, but because you deserve peace and you deserve growth and you deserve to flourish. So anyway, you guys, thank you for watching this video. I hope you enjoyed. I definitely recommend reading this book. I will link it down below if I remember, because sometimes I forget to link those. I will link them down below. The Science of Getting Rich. Also, I will put there's also like a recording that you can watch on YouTube and listen to it as well. It's really good to listen and read at the same time. That's the best way to read, is to look at the words and listen to it at the same time. So if you can do that, that's the best way. But I will see you guys in the next one. Bye.